the country where I come from, the truth is an irony. Just like animal farm, justice mean inequity. So who go say the truth? Who go say the truth? Christian can say silence, Islamic leaders silence, kings and queens silence, traditional leaders silence. So who go say the truth? We are them go so confused the call. Now by area why no better. We are them go so confused the call. One guy's out here why no better. Who go say the truth? Who go say the truth? Oh, he need it now, see what I see so. Now your friend on a nine come as them. Only baby obeka nice and yeah. So I want to bet you too. Everybody was afraid. And when you nan to my cottage again nine. Once my boy dumping one and but who go tell the truth? Nanai or say me. Nanso bien person beka wasam because everybody is afraid. Anya safwe muayini. Aku drop for nyina dalima. And see who go say the truth? Obiaja konson so to grow your mansa to me biaka kobrafo. Efo anyina ye. Efo when you know yet. Na so kutrata down na so be dia back or why no keke. I fene for be man mo pia for efo ne cross on my mo. Hanya safwe mo ayini. Akuku drop for you na dalima. And who go say the truth? Abaya di bote chino. Yedi bi bebo nyande bi kachi sa wodi o ma o pipi numa wodi o ma never shine my frafonsa. But who go tell the truth? TUC silence, even journalists silence. Oh, then who go say the truth? Right is right. Wrong is wrong, no matter how you justify. You say you wanna get rid of corruption. Someone want to help you, now the person become your target. Jobless no they mean senseless, poverty no they mean useless. One day them go resist.
Hello, good evening, wonderful people, and welcome once again to your favorite socio-political developmental show that airs this and every evening, Monday evening, where we cover the most topical and the most pertinent developmental matters as they arise in Ghana and Africa and the rest of the world. And this evening, we welcome you once again to another exciting edition. But before we proceed, let's say a very good evening to all our listeners who are listening to us live on Sakina Information Center in Teteli, Northern Ghana. Also live to all our listeners on High FM 93.7 FM in Atwinhimai in the Eastern region, and also all our listeners on the King's Radio in Accra, and to all our viewers and listeners on all social media networks where you are listening to us as MyView show on Today Ghana News TV, on Twitter, on Twitch, on YouTube, and so on and so forth. And you are welcome once again to another exciting edition. If you have been following our program, last week, we discussed a matter which we consider to be social, which is what is popularly being referred to as the anti-gay bill in Ghana. And if you've been following our program, what we say is that we operate at the threshold or at the intersection of development, social, and political affairs. This is because most matters that are considered to be political, purely political in nature, normally also have social side effects. And some issues that are seen purely as social issues have developmental and political consequences as well. And last week's show, probably we were ahead of our time, but social as it was, and social as we discussed it, we saw that just a day or so after our discussion, it spiraled into the political terrain, whereby we are now seeing what is being said to be a standoff between the legislature and the executive. And this is exactly why we sometimes choose to operate within that area, so that we can draw linkages in all of these, as there is symbiotic relationship between them. And these usually have effects not just on the politicians or any other person, but on the wider Ghanaian populace as well. And so probably later on in the course of time, depending on how that issue unravels, we may as well come back to that issue. But this week, we are swinging the pendulum directly to the other side and going straight back to politics, where we shall deal with some political affairs. And who knows, probably these also would have social effects, which later on we probably would want to examine or look at in that area as well. But of course, if we have to discuss politics, like we always say, we don't have the answers for you. But what we can do is to find you people who have the answers to the questions that are pertinent to you, to us, and to everybody. And on this note, this week, we are taking a look at, as Ghana prepares towards election 2024, we are looking at some of the key swing regions. In this particular case, we are looking at the Greater Accra region and its behavior in Ghana's election process, and how this can have effects on the outcome of the election of this year's general elections. And like we said, we would always get to the people who can best deal with these matters. And who else to do justice to a political topic than a politician himself? And so this evening, we have the privilege of being joined by Honorable Nii Amasah Namoale. Honorable Nii Amasah Namoale is, well, I guess in his former life, he was a technocrat, maybe a civil servant, and then he became a full-time politician. He was a member of parliament for, is it La Dade Kotopu, rather? Okay. La Dade Kotopong. Okay. Okay. Honorable, please, you may have to unmute yourself. And then subsequently, he became the deputy minister in charge of agriculture. These days, we are seeing that he has acquired a different title. We'll come to that later on in the show. But before we go there, Honorable, please unmute yourself and let's get the ball rolling. How are you doing, Honorable? Please. Okay, I think.
Yeah. Yes. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen listening to the program. Yeah, my name is Nii Amasah Namoale. I'm a politician. I do things that will make Ghana move forward, so that when I retire in my house, nobody will come and attack me. When I retire in my house and I'm going somewhere and I reach some places, I'll say, oh, this thing during my time, I was able to lobby for you to come. And I will use it well. You know that, oh, at least I've contributed to society. Because you have a short life. After you are gone, what was your contribution? The ivory towers give people degrees, titles, PhD. And when you go to the Baba boys, they ask, what has been your contribution to knowledge? Your research, did it add anything to knowledge? So we politicians, what did you add to development? These are some of the key issues. Anyway, something was rambling through my mind when you were doing the intro. Quite recently, I don't know the topic we're going to discuss, but quite recently, there was a statement that new policy is coming that anybody that wants to do any language in Ghana is free to choose any language, that we should not force our kids to learn a particular language. I hit my thighs and said, Jesus Christ, this policy, I'm hoping my party comes to power. I'll make sure I will influence for such a policy to be changed. Because it is very advantageous to know our local language. I work in Upper East for 10 good years. I tried to learn the Gurin language. I couldn't because I'm old. But my daughter who was in Bogatanga could speak the Gurin. And it's advantageous to her. So when I want to, if this new policy that is coming is in place, and my daughter goes to Bogatanga, then I go and tell them that my daughter is a Gan, so she should learn the Gadangwe language, which I think is wrong. Because I have to teach my daughter the Gadangwe language at home. And then every area that we are, we have to preserve the language of that place, the indigenous language. So for the Ghana Education Service or the Ministry of Education come out to say that the children should learn the language that they want to learn, it is quite unfortunate. Quite unfortunate, because even those days in the university, we have something called African Studies. People learn languages that they do not know. So why are we doing this harm to ourselves? I will be proud if my daughter could speak Guni, he could speak Gan, he could speak Twi, he could speak Ebe. I will be very happy. So this is my intro.
Yes. Well, in my other life, I am also into education research. So the area you are talking about is something that is also very dear to me as well. And you see, well, you are the politicians. You are the ones who make policy. One thing that keeps bothering education researchers or researchers in general is usually whether the policies that are made, whether there's a capability to execute those policies in the first place. And if there's no capability to execute them, what then feeds into the decision to take those policies? Because if a decision is made that any child can learn any language, well, if a Grusi is living somewhere in in Cape Coast and decides to learn Grusi language, does the education sector have the resources to ensure that such a child gets the needed attention to be able to learn that language at that particular place? Well, but these are discussions for another day. Before we get into the I would like to pick your view on a few matters, 2 issues before we get into the show. This morning, there was news in the traditional media that your party, the NDC party, is in turmoil because it was reported that one of your party bigwigs, in an occasion, I think over the weekend or so, made a statement that seemed that, according to the traditional media, has thrown your party into a state of disarray. Honorable Honorable, do we still have you? All right. It seems let's check Honorable's connection, and then we would come back to. Yes, I think. Let's work on Honorable Nii Amasah Namoale's connection, and then we'll come back to it to take his response. But the question I was posing to the Honorable Nii Amasah Namoale is the fact that there's report in the traditional media that one of the NDC bigwigs, in a ceremony over the nomination of the NDC, presidential, running mate, made a statement to the effect that she should be ready, because just as His Excellency John Dramani Mahama was called to take over the reins of governance, and he was ill prepared, that she should prepare because anything can happen. And that has been interpreted by some people to mean that he made a statement to the effect that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama might not be able to complete his tenure if he's elected as president. Well, they've been an apology issued to this effect on the statement that was made, and the interpretation or misinterpretation that might have been given to such a statement. But while we have an NDC bigwig with us, we would also want to pick his brain on the matter. Yes, Honorable, welcome back.
Thank you.
Yes, before we lost you, we wanted to just pick your brain on that small storm in the teacup with regards to the statement that was alleged to have been made by your big brother Ahoy over the weekend, and the traditional media seem to be painting a different picture out of it to give paint a picture as though he's wishing ill of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. And I would like to give an opportunity to respond to the connotation that's being given to such a statement.
Thank you very much, Albert. Even before I heard that statement, the following morning, that's this morning, I heard his apology. That was my direct boss. He has just apologized. See, sometimes you will make a statement, you don't know how far that statement will go. We have all been goofing here and there. So sometimes you make a statement, then you say, oh, I should have made this statement. We make mistakes. So far as the man has come out boldly and he has apologized to President Mama, apologized to his running mate, apologized to the NDC party, I think the matter must end there. But me, I'm a politician. So when the mainstream, not all the mainstream media, but the most mainstream media that is carrying that small storm in the teacup are those that their party is sinking. So they need a briefer. In politics, when you need a briefer, you do something that will distract people's attention, and then for the whole day or week or something, people will be talking about it. Do you think the bill that Asante Bide wrote a letter to Parliament and they shouldn't bring it? Do you think he just he wanted a briefer? The president and the government wanted a briefer because Asante Bide is a lawyer. The president is a lawyer. They know the effect of Article 106 and 107. So they know, but they intentionally wrote that letter. All the correspondence that go to Parliament is from the president. I'll be a member of Parliament. The president himself writes and signs the correspondence to Parliament. Why is that this time it is the secretary that wrote? Because they wanted the public to have something to discuss. So the hit that is on them, and they'll have a briefer, it will cool their bodies. So while we are discussing and say, oh, the president didn't do well, he'll be briefing, and then people will be taking off what we wanted to discuss about the economy, how people are suffering here and there. So the mainstream are just trying to do something to get a briefer. But I think we all make mistakes. You understand? Who doesn't know? Even this that I'm going to say, I'm afraid maybe a mainstream media will pick it and then twist it here, and then the bloggers, especially the bloggers, and twist it because they know Nii Amasah Namoale's name trend, so twist it. But everybody knows, everywhere in the world, that when the president is unable to function, the vice president will take over. Everybody knows. Joe Biden is there. Should anything happen untoward that is not able to perform, definitely Kamala Harris will be the president. We all know this thing. So it's actually a storm in the teacup. I think we should let it go.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much for bringing a clarification to this matter. And we hope that our viewers and listeners who have tuned in would have had clarity to this, and they will put this matter to rest as it should be and move forward. Honorable, as you said, some things are done just to, really. Yes. Welcome and sorry for the interruption in the in our trans. We had a little but it's been rectified, I suppose. And we are back online. So, honorable, before we had the glitch, I was saying that the point I wanted to make is the fact that you are Ga, right?
Yes, I'm Ga. 100% Ga.
Sometimes,
but I'm from Kufuridua, East region. So I come from East region. I come from Kufuridua. I come from La.
Wonderful. Sometimes, as outsiders looking in, the perspective of things can be different from that of an indigene looking inside. So, as a Gama looking inside, what would you say of the state of affairs in the capital right now in Ghana?
In terms of, if you can give me
in terms of the economic state of being of the indigenes of the capital and how that is affecting every other aspect of their life.
Well, the indigenes of, in Accra, Great Accra, is not made of only the indigenes. We have an adage say, we always expect foreigners to come and join us to build our little towns and our hamlets and our villages and our cities. So it is not only the Gadangbes that occupy Great Accra. So the question, if I understand your question, the economic woes, how it is affecting gas or how it is affecting Great Accra.
Yes, Great Accra. Not only the people, not only gas, but all the people living in the zone.
Oh, it has not been easy living in the Great Accra region. It has not been easy because we cannot just live in Accra without a skill. You cannot live in Accra without a job. You cannot live in Accra without you having something to do. And whatever that you do, you must make sure that you run faster than the animal or whatever that is following you that will devour you every day. And you know, Accra is expensive. A ball of kenkey now is between 3 cedis and 5 cedis, depending on where you buy it. I live in Dodowa and I live in La. I spend my weekends in La and my weekdays in Dodowa. A ball of kenkey in Dodowa, 3 cedis in Dodowa is 5 cedis in Accra, Accra main, or in La, where we call the old Accra. As at now, Ghana, we don't have a capital. That's another issue that I can raise for us to discuss. So, life in Accra is not easy. That's why when life is hard, Accra will vote against you.
You know, but Honorable, it is interesting that you say that life in Accra is hard. This is because, you know, some people will be quick to point out to you that the MPP government in particular have always had a special, Accra have always had a special place in the heart of the MPP government. And they would point to the fact that during the tenure of they established a whole ministry, which was, I think, a ministry for the beautification of the capital city. And that during this particular MP government, they also, you know, carved out Ministry of Sanitation that used to be local government. They've carved it out into a whole ministry. And actually, the president said that under his presidency, Accra is going to be the cleanest city in Africa, which presupposes that the MPP government hold Accra very dear to his heart. So, I mean, how do you juxtapose these facts with the fact that life in Accra hard, even though, you know, the MPP government seems to be giving the put that the cares about Accra?
Most, see, the MPP has succeeded in using sloganeering. They have been using sloganeering to win election, and they use sloganeering and propaganda to tell the people that you are not suffering. You are not suffering. In fact, it is better for you. Let me give you an example of free SHS, where when we were paying a little bit about 300 Ghana cedis, and everything were given to our kids in the school. Textbooks, exercise books, everything were given. Now it is free SHS. They say we should buy the electric books, and they will provide the core book, core textbooks, core subject textbooks. As we are speaking now, they have not provided. So we, the parents, have to buy. Here is the case: children go to school on a table, 12 people share one sardine. When we were paying, even now, as of today, my sister called me asking for money that the daughter in Laboni Secondary School, they just reopened. He should bring, every child should bring one A4 sheet, one bunch, not one bundle, I think about 24 toilet roll. Every child should provide one bundle toilet roll, A4 sheet. Imagine the number of kids in the school. Everybody is providing A4 sheet. Then markers, you know, during our time, my time, I don't know what is happening in other districts. We change all the blackboard, the chalk, to markers. Every child should bring one pack of marker for them to use to write on the block to teach the children. So it's free education. Bring your books. Free education. Bring your teacher. The same Laboni Secondary School. After vacation, during vacation, they organize classes for our kids. They organize evening classes, and we pay more than when it was fee paying. These things, so MPP is very crafty, and they get people to help them in sloganeering and telling you that I've given you what you like, one village, one dam. When they are talking about their achievement, they mention one village, one dam. But the villages are there. How Akosi told us that it is the money they give for one village, and it is not a meaningful dam. Yet people are sheepishly following them because they see one village, one dam. They are saying one constituency, $1, $1 million a year. Large general hospitals have been demolished. If they give our $1 million a year to us, by now the large general hospital can use that money to build the large general hospital. So they are very good, and they are very they have succeeded by the mainstream media and some part of the mainstream media and some media houses helping them. And we are all in it. We are all buying the KK 5 CDs. And you think, oh, I've gotten money, I've built the house. Look, I've lived enough to see people who built houses and their grandchildren have squandered all of them. I've lived long enough. I saw Kojo Sardin in La. The man was an industrialist, very rich, very helpful, very good man. He built empires, houses in London and all those things. I was standing in front of my office and I pointed one of his houses. A storyboard. Look at this house. This Kojo Sardin. When I was young, that was the most beautiful house in La. Now, people living in it cannot even, some of his great grandchildren cannot even renovate or take care of it. Windows are smashed and all those things. Because Ghana is not good enough for his children and his children's children to be able to renovate and live in that, maintain and live in that house. So we have to build a better Ghana. Not sloganeering Ghana. A better Ghana that a child of Ghana will be able to take care of himself. And then we say, oh, my father's house, oh, I don't like it. Let's mortgage it or let's sell it. I'll build my own house. That's how we have to live. Not where you leave your children and they cannot even maintain the house. They won't be inside and they will use cardboard to be the windows, and they cannot even buy a bed. So look at all those things. It is better not to have anything and to build Ghana. So they are good in sloganeering. That one, I will say, yeah. And people are helping them. But this year's election in Greater Accra, they will not win.
Yes. Hello, Honorable. Yes, I suspect we are still having few challenges with our internet connection. So we will take a quick break, read some messages from our listeners and viewers, and while doing that, we'll try and work on it, and then return to continue with the program. So okay. We'll take a quick break, and then return. Hello, Honorable.
Should I go off?
No, no, stay with us. Stay with us.
Okay.
We'll take some messages and then come back to you. Yes. So if you are listening to us or if you are watching us, this is MyView show here live on Today Ghana News TV, and we say a very warm welcome and greetings to our people who are listening to us on Sakina Information Center in Teteli, Northern Ghana, also to our listeners on High FM 93.7 in Hima in the Eastern region, and also our listeners and viewers who are also with us on the King's Radio in Accra, and all our viewers who are also listening to us live on all social media platforms, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Twitch, on Instagram, on YouTube and what have you, and also to all our listeners and viewers on Fans TV and also other networks that are streaming us, Jaframa TV and all other networks that are viewing us live today. So let's take some comments from our viewers and hope that our network would stabilize, and then we would continue with the show. So, producer, if you have some messages, let's see. Alanda Melchisa Mechisa, sorry if I get your name wrong. You say good evening to you and your host. Good evening to you too for doing the listening and the viewing. Fans TV, you say wow, a powerful guest you have today, watching from Aflao Volta region. Thank you very much, Fans TV, for doing the watching as always. Alanda, you say you are watching from Frankfurt. Thank you very much for doing the watching all the way from Frankfurt. Frima Oye, you say you are greetings from Masinia Ho. Please ask Honorable why he's not frequently on the media as he used to be. Okay, no problem. We have Honorable. We would put a question to him. We will do that for you. Our next comment is from Frempong Bafi. Frempong, you see, this is an innovative idea from Ga people. We need to be at the top of political power broker, watching from Akusi. Thank you very much, Frempong, for doing the watching in Akusi. NDC Diaspora Union, you see, this is the kind of people we want to lead the NDC communications team. We are in Holland. Please ask him if he have a branch in Holland where we can join. Okay, thank you very much, as NDC Diaspora Union. Keep in touch. You will probably be directed to the appropriate places. Asempahine Boachi, you see, good evening, Albert and your team watching and listening from Achwin Himai. Thank you very much, Asempahine Boachi, for doing the watching as always. Ose Superior, good evening to you. You say, please, the NDC is not well rooted here in Barcelona, Spain. Please, they should try to help build the caucus here. We need power. Thank you very much, Ose Superior, for doing the watching as always, and for your wonderful and kind messages as usual. So, which one again? We have from Jaframa TV. You say you are greetings from Rara in Oti region. Thank you very much, Jaframa TV, for doing the watching and for doing the broadcast as usual and as always. Very warm greetings to you. Kweku Ivo, you say you are watching from Suhum in the Eastern region. Please tell Honorable, come back to the media. He will be of a great help to the victory of John Mahama. Thank you very much, Kweku Ivo, for the message, and I'm sure Honorable has it. Kim Pezaru 1. Kim Pezaru _1, you say, good evening. I am a Ghanaian based in Kosovo, watching via satellite on Twitch. How many times in a week do you come on air? I love your program and would want NDC to win back power in December. Well, we are on air on different days, but for this particular show, we are on air every Monday evening. But we have other shows that air almost every day in the evening as well. So just keep yourself subscribed and you would get updates. Sekapa family, you see a powerful submission by Honorable Namoale. He is full of wisdom and love the NDC, watching from Jumapu near Koforidua. Thank you very much for doing the watching. Kwesi Insia, you say you are watching from Anglo Town in Koforidua. Thank you very much for doing the watching. Patience Dako, good evening to you. You are saying good evening, and you are watching from Hamburg in Germany. Thank you very much for doing the watching as always. Ghana and Fie, you say you are watching from Bososu in Fantiakwa South. We are live and clear. Thank you very much, Ghana and Fie, for doing the watching as always. And thank you to all the people who are joining us. So if you are just joining us, this evening we are privileged to be joined by Honorable Nii Amasah Namoale, who is the spokesperson for the Dangwe Caucus. He's a former MP and also a former Deputy Minister of State, and he's joining us this evening to take a look at the behavior of the Greater Accra region as it pertains to the elections in Ghana, and also to talk about the contribution of the Gadangwe caucus in helping the NDC secure victory come elections 2024. And so Honorable have been talking to us about the state of affairs in the capital, and how in his view the NPP government is trying to use sloganeering to try to portray a picture of affairs that are not the case in Ghana right now. And also he says that there are a lot of promises that have been made which have not been heeded to, and which have left Ghanaians worse off, and living in a state that is undesirable. So we would welcome Honorable Nii Amasah Namoale back on line. And when Honorable joins us, we would like to know, Honorable, we see that you also have a title. I'm not sure whether it's a new title or an old title, but you are the spokesperson of the Gadangwe caucus. Honorable, what is the Gadangwe caucus?
Yeah, the NDC Gadangwe caucus, we organize ourselves, the Gadangwes. If your mother or your father or both your parents or your grandfather or your grandmother is a Gadangwe, you are a Gadangwe. We try to organize ourselves to make sure that when we win power, we are not organizing ourselves for it to be recognized by the political party or by anybody, but to make sure that when we win power, every Gadangwe that gets a position in the NDC might not just go there and sit down and be performing his work without looking at the bigger Gadangwe, because we have contributed to the NDC so much. And when I say we have to look at the bigger Gadangwe, is that when we are paid our salary, I've been a deputy minister before, and nobody came to me from the Gadangwe caucus or wherever that, oh, you are a Gadangwe, you have this political position. What is going to be your contribution towards the development and upliftment of the Gadangwes? This morning I was telling somebody, my in-law, that no citizen should pay school fees. If you want to go to school, you are a citizen of land. So no citizen of Gadangwe origin should pay school fees. We should they should all go to school free, even if you want to go to Spain, Barcelona, London, USA, Canada, wherever that you want to go to school, Nigeria, India, South Africa. The Gadangwe should be able to sponsor our kids. Why do I say so? Let me take La as an example. Our lands in cantonment, Laboni, Bema Camp, and all over were taken by the government, and other people are built on our lands. The lease has expired, and by law, when the lease is expired, you have to pay rent. Either you renew the lease or you have to pay rent. Unfortunately, we have no records. We haven't kept the records. So the Gadangwe caucus was formed to reorient the Gadangwes, for us to know our right, for us to establish a scholarship scheme, for us to know where to get the money into that scheme, for us to know when land is sold, school land money are paid, a percentage should go to that scheme to sponsor our kids. Because living in the capital, you can't live in the capital without a skill. You can't live in the capital without education. It is our hometown. Other people have traveled from their hometown and they have come to Accra. He left. The lazy people over there will not come. They will stay there and they will be doing all sorts of things. But those who want, let me retract that. Not lazy people. Not lazy people. I retract that. No blogger should pick it. Some people are behind. They will never come to Accra. Those who come to Accra have acquired some skills. If he has no skill, he will not come to Accra, that he's come to look for work. Once he comes to Accra, he's come to compete with you, the indigene. And Ghana is for everybody. So we have to equip our indigenes so that they will be able to compete with whoever that comes to Accra. Whether you are from UK, you are from America, or you are from Accra, or you are from wherever that you come to Accra, we should be able to compete with you. So we want to train our kids, our children, reorient them for them to know what to do. They have to go to school. They should know what to do so that they will be able to survive in the capital.
So, Honorable, from what you have said, you have not specifically, talked about any particular political orientation as far as this is concerned. But what we are seeing is that your title is the NDC Gadangwe Caucus. So, what is the linkage between the Gadangwe Caucus and the NDC party?
Oh, the thing is that, you see, the NDC has a large following from the Gadangwes. When you see NDC not losing some seats in the Gadangwe land, like the Krobo land, they're also Gadangwes. Like, these are people in the Buta region. Amedupe, no, on the mountain, there are Gadangwes there. Our fathers, our grandmothers, all of them were NDC members. We have followed the NDC for far too long. So we have to orient our people. Let the NDC know that it is the Gadangwes that are helping the NDC in Accra to win the seat. So when Gadangwes are given position, those positions, some of them, we should contribute to the development of our Gadangwe people on the ground. You understand? I am NDC spokesperson for NDC Gadangwe. I'm also a member of the bigger Gadangwe. The bigger Gadangwe. I'm also a member. Because we are not against any ethnic group. No. Even if you win primaries in my hometown La, and you are not from La, I will support you. In my political party, I will support you. Because the people want you. And we, the Gadangwes, we don't discriminate. Let me give you an example. Sena Okitidua, he's from Volta region. She got majority of her votes from the Gadangwe side. In fact, 2016 she lost because her own people, her own voters did not vote for her. But in the Gadangwe area, she won massively. Do you know why? The propaganda that went to the Ever area is that when your daughter became MP, he was helping the Gadangwes. She didn't come to help you people, and you people are following her. So they didn't vote for her. There was voter apathy, and she lost the seat. So that is the Gadangwes. We don't discriminate. But that does not debar us from helping our own. We have to help our own. Yeah.
Interesting. Now let's take a look at the Greater Accra region in particular. You know, the Greater Accra region shares, a particular political behavior with another region, which is the Central region. And these regions over time have come to be known as, the key swing regions that determine who becomes the president or which party gets to rule Ghana. And for those who are listening to us and do not know this trend, let me just read out this figure. In the 2000 general elections, the MPP won 53% of the votes in the Greater Accra region. As we know, there was a runoff. In the runoff, they increased that figure from 53% to 60%, and the MPP won the general elections in Ghana. In the year 2004, the MPP won 52% of the votes in Greater Accra region and won the elections in Ghana. In the year 2008, the NDC came back strong and won 52% of the votes in the Greater Accra region and won the elections in Ghana. In the runoff to the NDC increased to 54% and won. In the year 2012, the NDC got 52% of the votes in the Greater Accra region and won the general elections. Now watch this. In the year 2016, the NDC lost and the MPP won 52% of the votes in the Greater Accra region and the MPP won. Now, Honorable, from this trend from the year 2000 to 2016, it is clear that the Greater Accra region, depending on where it swings to, that determines the president of Ghana or the party that rules Ghana. Why is the Greater Accra this peculiar? Because this trend is not the same for all the regions, but the Greater Accra and the Central region alone behave in this particular manner. Why is this the case?
You see, I was expecting you also to tell me about the magnitude of the vote, because I know that anytime NDC loses Greater Accra region, there is voter apathy. Anytime NDC loses, me in my constituency, 2012, I won by a difference of almost 17,000 votes. 2016, I lost by 1,640 votes because of apathy. So you could see that anytime the NDC loses is apathy. That's why this our Gadangme NDC, we will go to the Gadangme areas and make sure that we whip them into line. If I say whip, no, let me retract that statement. Encourage them. See, this time around, because of the bloggers, they want to make money. So whatever that is no issue, they will take it and twist it out and make issues out of it.
You have to be careful of the words that come out of your mouth.
So go to the Gadangme areas, encourage them to go to the polls and vote. And that's one of our core mandates. We go to organize rallies in the Gadangme areas, speak Ga to them, tell them to go and vote. And then we'll tell them the aim and objectives of the Gadangme caucus. To help our Gadangme children, education-wise especially, scholarships, sponsoring them, because all the Gadangme ministers, CEOs that we put in place will pay some money into a fund that will be used to educate them. So we'll talk to them, and where there are difficulties, we will go there and talk.
Well, yes, Honorable, you talked about apathy, and probably this is reflected. There's a reason why, when I was mentioning the percentages, I deliberately left out the year 2020, and this is because in the year 2020, the NDC won the Greater Accra region by 51%, and yet lost the general and yet lost the elections. That presupposes that either the figures that came out were not that much, or something is changing.
They stole the elections. Let's call spade a spade. They stole the elections. I'm telling you, they stole. You see, we can use the court system, can use bureaucracy, you can use, no, there's so many things going on that sometimes you become so helpless. Let me give you an example. During the last census, I don't know whether you were in Ghana, did you see the questionnaire that they asked? The questionnaire they asked was skewed so that to come at that majority of Ghanaians, 70% of Ghanaians, 90% of Ghanaians speak Akan. So Akan should be adopted as a lingua franca. I don't have a problem. If Akan is a lingua franca, I don't have a problem. But if you deliberately skew survey questionnaire, that you have done a lot of injustice to the people. Do you know what the questions they were asking? Can you speak which language? Can you speak Akan? Then the other language, they didn't put a place for the language that you speak. There was no other where you can write other, but they chose some languages. And the way they put it, Ashanti Tree, Kapumchi, Fanti, and then other. You see, it is something that you could see that these people want to achieve certain things. But let me tell you, you are in Europe. Are you not, or America?
In Europe.
Yeah, you are in Europe. Go and check France. France, the French language that they speak there is not their original language. They have small languages which they kill because they wanted French to dominate. Now French are dominated. Now they are giving scholarship to people to go and learn the language that is dead. They will pay all your schools and everything if you are going to learn that languages, those languages that are dead. Let us allow other languages to survive. Because unity in diversity is nice. Don't kill somebody's language. But people are deliberately trying to kill other people's language. So let me tell you, the 2020 elections, they stole it. They stole it. Let me tell you, they stole it.
Well,
and I like
Well, here's here's the bigger question to you, and not just to you, but to maybe the members of your caucus as well. If we know, or if as you tell us that the 2020 elections were stolen, and that there were some machinations that ensured that the outcome of the elections did not reflect the will of the Ghanaian people. Now, as the spokesperson of the Gadangwe NDC caucus, what do you think that the Gadangwe caucus can do in the coming elections so that NDC, your party, win elections in the Greater Accra region and do it so handsomely that no amount of theft can obscure the fact that the winner of the elections is clear and that the mandate of the Ghanaian is to be given to your party?
Well, you see, the mandate will be given to our party. Let me give you, I will not tell you what the Ghanaian people are doing, but let me give you a small thing. Every police station in Greater Accra region, there will be a Gadangwe there. The result that will be counted, a snapshot will be taken on WhatsApp. And we are not, the Gadangwes, we are going to collect, get evidence of the pink sheet at every police station. Not the physical, but we'll take pictures of the police station. They will paste the pink sheet at the wall, on the wall of the police station. We'll take a picture and we'll collect it. So if you still this time around, we have the evidence to bring it out. We are not going to use sophisticated machines. You are using WhatsApp or Viber. There are so many social media apps, Telegram, which cannot never be shut down unless they shut down the internet. If they shut down the internet, we will have it waiting for any time that the internet will be open, and then it will be published. So for that one, this is only one that I'm telling you. Greater Accra, this is only one that I'm telling you. Well, we have put so many measures in place to make sure that if we lose the election, not in Greater Accra, and this that we are going to do is for the Gadangwe. So we the Gadangwe NDC caucus is going to do it. It's not the NDC, but the NDC party will do its own thing. But with the Gadangwes in Greater Accra, we'll make sure that we get the results of Greater Accra with evidence, WhatsApp evidence, raw WhatsApp evidence, because the court recognizes WhatsApp. If they want to serve you, they can serve you by WhatsApp. Can they? They can. So we'll get the raw evidence. and make sure that those results are published.
Well, Honorable, we thank you very much for this.
If you can give me 5 minutes.
Oh yes, Honorable, why not?
Your studio can help to do this research, and then let me know the outcome of the research that you do. The capital of Ghana is what? Accra, they say. Where is Accra? Is Accra the capital? Is the capital the seat of government, or the seat of government can be in Accra, can be in New York, and then Washington can be the capital, or the seat of government can be in Liverpool, and then London can be the capital? Because when they say the capital is Accra, those days the capital was actually Accra because the seat of government was in Osu, which was AMA, the district, Accra Metropolitan Assembly, the district of Accra. That is the Accra. Now Accra has been divided into so many other districts. We have Dade Kutupon, we have Ledukukuko, we have Kuro, we have Osukloti, and now the seat of government is not at Osu. If it is in Osu, then Osu will be the capital. The capital was in Cape Coast. By law, they brought it to Accra, and the law is there. So now we are saying Accra is our capital. What makes Accra our capital? Because the seat of government is in Ayawaso. The seat of government is not in Accra. It's in Ayawaso East. Or is it East Ayawaso? So why do you say that your capital is Accra? And if your capital is Accra, where is Accra? Can you tell me the boundaries of Accra? Is it the airport? The airport is in Dade Kotopon, not Accra. So this is something that is bothering me. Maybe you can write to the University of Ghana Geography Department, or you can write to the University of London to ask them what goes into making a place a capital. We have Moscow, we have Kremlin. Which one is the capital? Moscow. And the Kremlin is just like the Flagstaff House, or the Osu. Is it Flagstaff? How do you call it? Jubilee House. Like we say, Castle, Osu Castle is speaking, but the capital is Accra. So these are some of the things that is bothering me. That it seems Ghanaians, we don't bother much about it, but it's a misnomer or anomaly that Accra is our capital, and when you ask where is Accra, nobody can tell you where Accra is. To rectify this, I think then we should have the mayor of Accra. So I will he will be the head of all the mayors, all the MCs and the DCs in Accra. Then they will define Accra, because when Accra was our capital, we had Accra Tema City Council. That was the time Accra was Accra. That time Tema was inclusive in Accra. Tema went away. We had the whole of Accra. Now Accra has been divided into many districts. So which one is Accra? I crave your indulgence to get me the answer. And there was a pity. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable, and thank you for joining us this evening. But more importantly, thank you for the education that you have given to me and to all our wonderful viewers and listeners who joined us today.
I don't come to main media again. Tell that person I do come, but I have a project doing up to June. When I finish, I'll come. You should pray for me that that project should be successful.
Wonderful. So you have your answer there.
Most of your viewers are from Eastern region.
Yes, from Eastern region, but all over. Some are from, we have our viewers from Eastern region, some from the Oki region, and from the Volta region and global.
Social media.
Sorry?
Is it on television or on social media?
Well, we stream live on social media platforms. We are also live on some radio stations and also on some information centers as well.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Jaframa TV.
Yes. So thank you very much, Honorable, for joining us, and we are grateful to you for your time, and we are grateful to you for all the education that you have given to us, and hopefully, very not long from now, we are going to call you back so that we can have a general discussion on some of the matters that you are talking about concerning the Gadangui people, and that one we have it as a social discussion. So thank you very much, Honorable.
Welcome.
Yes. So thank you very much to all our viewers and listeners who joined us this evening as we engage in this, discussion with the Honorable Nii Amasah Namoale, who is a former MP of La Dade Kotopon. He is also the Deputy Minister for Agriculture, and right now he is the spokesperson of the NDC Gadangui caucus. And Honorable Amasah Namoale took us through a long discussion of events as they're happening in Accra, and some of the things that he thinks that they, as custodians of the land and custodians of the people of the capital, can do to better the lot of people of their area and also beyond, and how they can contribute overall to the development of Ghana. And so we thank Honorable for making time to join us. And we say thank you to all our viewers and all our listeners, those who joined us as usual from our Sakina Information Center in Tatali, those who joined us viewing or listening on High FM, and those who joined us listening on the King's Radio in Accra. And also we say a very big thank you to all those who joined us on all social media platforms for this evening's program. Next week, we are going to take a brief pause from a little bit of politics, do more of entertainment and social affairs, and then, but of course, as we have pointed out today, these topics are not explicit, and they are very much intertwined. And so, join us next week as we engage you again with another exciting topic for discussion and another, thought-provoking and mind-provoking subject for discussion. Thank you to you, and see you next week. Have a lovely evening.
The country where I come from, the truth is irony. Just like animal farm, justice mean inequity. So who go say the truth? Who go say